everyone. I am so excited to be here for Transformation Tuesday. I have my amazing friend Andrea Hall here with me. And, I thought this would be a lot of fun to do each and every Tuesday to bring people on live and be able to interview them about their results and some of the obstacles that they've come across throughout this journey so that you guys could see that these are real people and these are real results and these people are relatable and they're experiencing the same things that everyone else experiences, especially on, a health and wellness journey and stuff like that. So that's kind of the background behind all this. So I just want to introduce you to my amazing friend, Andrea. It's funny, I'm like a hot mess because I just came from boot camp. So I'm a little bit off. But Andrea, could you tell us just a little bit about you and kind of what your background is before we get started?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jacqueline. And you're an amazing friend as well. So thank you for inviting me on. So for me, my background is more in counseling area. And so I will tell you this, when I was first introduced to what is now an amazing opportunity, I was struggling with finding my voice, finding out who I was, and just being okay with being me. I felt like I was invisible in this huge world where no one was able to really hear anything that I had to say. And so my background had been in getting a master's in counseling. So I was educated, I had a job, I had a family. So on the outside, it looked like I had everything that everyone normally would think is the American dream. But inside, I was feeling like I needed more. I needed more experiences, more opportunity. And so I just threw myself into busy work, including volunteering everywhere possible, fundraising opportunities, being on multiple boards, and getting more education as much as possible. But that still wasn't fulfilling me. So that gives you a little bit of where I was in 2002.
And I just, before we go on further, I just want you guys to know Andrea is an incredible leader. Like, she is an amazing leader. She's extremely inspiring. She helps so many other people with so many different things. We used to run different opportunity calls with each other, and it was an absolute blessing to be able to do that. And that's when I really got to, the privilege of getting to know Andrea. So I just want you to know that she pours her heart literally into everything that she does. And that's just the kind of person that she is. So I really appreciate you being here today. I know you kind of started giving us that little bit of background. How long have you been using our nutritional cleansing system?
Well, actually, like I said, since 2002, I was introduced by a perfect stranger. And I say perfect stranger because there is a difference. They're total and then they're perfect strangers. And so the perfect stranger in my life continues to affect my life on a daily basis and weekly basis. I call her friend, mentor, and so many other things to my family. And so when I mentioned just a few minutes ago that I poured myself into multiple opportunities, that's how I met this perfect stranger, was volunteering for another opportunity, and with the hopes of actually doing good for that particular organization. So I wasn't necessarily looking for an opportunity, but I found not only an opportunity, but also answer to some solutions to problems that I was actually having myself and being able to find my own voice.
I love that. And I love how you say perfect stranger. I love how you differentiate the two, because I think I know who introduced you, and she is like absolutely amazing and such an unbelievable person. So like you said, you weren't really looking for something, but this solution kind of just fell into your lap, and you slowly started making progress on making changes in your life. So once you got started, excuse me, with our nutritional cleansing system, what made you decide that you really wanted to go for it and you wanted to make some changes?
Well, being a natural skeptic, of course. And again, she was a perfect stranger, but I didn't know she was perfect. I thought she was total at that time. And so I didn't know to really believe her or not. And so I thought, you know what, let me just go ahead and give it a try. Other things haven't worked, so let me go ahead and see what this is all about. She seemed pretty knowledgeable. And so she shared her heart with me upon first meeting about her experiences and background and things of that nature. And so, what I will say is, after a few days, it made me a believer because, as I mentioned, I was having trouble actually finding my own voice. And within a few days, I noticed that I felt more encouraged to be able to actually be more open and not so much vocal, but just being okay with being me. So realizing that fitting in wasn't necessarily the path that I needed to follow, which I did think so long for so many years. But in actuality, I realized I was meant to stand out.
I love that. And it's crazy because I didn't really realize how like closely related our stories were, because when I first started using our system too, I had extremely low self-esteem and was very much an introvert, and didn't really want to reach out to others and talk to others. So I can definitely relate to how you are feeling. When you started and you started using the system, what goals did you have? Like, were you looking to lose weight? Were you looking to just overall feel better? What kind of solutions, did the system provide you with?
Well, one of the things that I will say is when you have felt poorly for such a long time, you don't even realize how you're feeling, to be honest. You're just kind of going through the motions. And so the feeling better never really crossed my mind. It was just a great side benefit. But I was motivated at that particular time because I had a preschooler at the time and I was motivated to feel at least a little more energetic, if nothing else, running around taking care of a preschooler as well as a middle schooler at that time. So I was motivated in that area, and I was finding that it was more of a challenge for me to actually maintain my weight as I had prior to having my second child. So I was looking more in the category of finding a method of maybe just kind of losing a few pounds and inches because it just seemed like I was going in the opposite direction, which was very different than what had happened to me throughout the majority of my life.
That's awesome. That was exactly what I was looking for. Um, so along the way, sometimes we go into something and we think that it's going to be really easy, and like we may be like really excited about it at the beginning, and then we start doing it and we just kind of fall off and we don't necessarily stick to it. So what was the most challenging thing for you? I mean, because you're saying since 2002, so that's what, like 15
Hmm.
years that you've used our system.
Absolutely. Almost 15.
Yeah, almost 15 years, which was when we first started. um what was the most challenging thing along the way for you?
Well, one of the things that I will say is because, again, that skepticism creeps in your mind. And initially, the thought was, you've got to be kidding me. There's no way in the world I'm going to have this protein every single day. What is the need? What's the reason behind it? I can't even imagine because for me, it just didn't even seem like there was anything on this earth that I would actually enjoy having on a daily basis. So, let alone continuously, because I do remember saying to several people, okay, so are you saying to me that this is a lifestyle? What does that mean? Does that mean a couple of days, few weeks? I mean, it was just too much for me to even think about at that time. So I took it one day at a time, honestly, because oftentimes when we look at a task, we look at all of the negatives surrounding it and all the impossible things that come along with it. However, when you take one bit at a time, kind of like eating that elephant, if we look at eating the entire elephant, we're never going to do it. But just taking those little steps at a time and one step a day and just kind of bite-sized pieces really made it a lot more effective for me. And so I decided not to overwhelm myself by eating the entire elephant, but just taking that opportunity to just kind of enjoy the journey along the way and see where it would take me. So it wasn't like I started off saying, oh, 15 years from now, this is where I'll be. But just so happened, this is where I am.
That's awesome. And I think you even answered my next question, which was, what do you think were the keys to your success? So from what you said, basically your biggest challenge was kind of seeing the big picture, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so you took that big picture and broke it down day by day into small daily actions in order for you to be successful in your goals. And I think that's really key, especially if you want long-term change and results, which you have achieved, which I think is amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself within our company in the next 5 years?
With this particular company, I see so many opportunities. So I'll give you, for example, today, like so many other days of the month, I get this nice little email that says, congratulations. And it reminds me of the positive changes I'm making in others' lives. So it's not so much about the numbers, but the impact. And so I know it's a great, gentle reminder that I'm impacting lives beyond myself, beyond my own family, and certainly beyond the state in which I was birthed. So, so it expands further than I can even imagine. And that's just a nice little gentle reminder. So I see myself, you ask me, I see myself expanding even more and touching more lives on a more frequent basis.
I love that. I think that's beautiful, and that's what we're all about, is helping other people to feel that the way that they want and to create the life that they want. So that's beautiful. I love that. Um, I have a couple more questions. Do you
Mm-hmm.
believe that anybody is capable of achieving the success you have achieved with the weight loss, with, just your energy of where you're at, with any of those things? Like, do you believe that anyone is capable of achieving that level of success that you have?
I absolutely do. And I've seen it not only in myself and family members, but friends and total as well as other perfect strangers. So I've met so many people along the way that have been impacted in a positive manner just from just implementing some key elements on a daily basis that have truly made a huge change in their lives, in the lives of their families as well. So, absolutely.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So I have kind of one more key question that I think is probably one of the most important ones that I ask people. Um, is there something where, like, if there's someone out there watching, especially this is your transformation story. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
you started off, you know, being kind of an introvert, right? Would you say that you were
Mm-hmm.
an introvert?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a normal, natural introvert by nature.
Right, who wasn't happy with where you were at, who was
Right.
fulfilling yourself by doing things constantly for other people, never doing something to take care of yourself. Coming from that place, what is one thing that you could share to someone who might be feeling that way right now, or someone who, may not be where they want to be in life from a weight loss perspective or an energy standpoint? What's one thing that you could share with them today that might, help them on their journey, or just kind of touch their lives a little bit. Is there anything that you can think of?
Well, I think for me, and one thing that I will share is after searching for so long to identify what are those things that I need to actually seek outside myself, I realize that honestly, when you look inside and you take care of self, you're giving those around you the best gift possible. Because oftentimes we busy ourselves with doing things for other people. However, there's only so much we can give. And if we aren't actually replenishing ourselves, not only just our minds, but our bodies physically, our energy levels, all of those different things. If we're not nourishing ourselves, we're no longer capable of actually giving anything positive to others. So, if nothing else, take care of self first. And then it is obvious and it really inspires other people to take care of themselves as well. And I will say that I have definitely experienced that firsthand. So start taking care of self sooner rather than later.
I love that. And it's so true. And one of the things, if you're on live and you have a question, please don't hesitate to reach out, to comment in the comment box. I have another computer here where I'm looking. I'm trying to keep up with the questions. That's why I keep looking to my left a little bit. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask one. We're so excited to have you if you're
Yes.
on live. It's really exciting. Hi, Teresa. We're excited to have you. But one of the things that you touched on just by what you said, I think that that's important, is to take care of yourself. I think that's very important. I think a lot of times, especially as moms, we often overlook that very important step. But another thing that you reminded me of is something that I can tell just by talking with you and where you were at when you first started. But this journey has also been one of like huge personal development for you, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the things that you can't even put a price on is the interactions, the networking, and it's true networking in every sense of the word. Because without this particular system, you and I wouldn't have ever met. And so that is the great thing to be able to collaborate with people across the globe just by me interacting with that perfect stranger.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things about this. I think that that's all the questions
Okay.
that I have for you. Is there anything else that you want to add or say before we jump off here about your story that I didn't quite touch on?
Well, the only thing that I will say is I just want to encourage people to just take a second look or a third or a fourth because honestly, there's so many things out there that often can be so confusing, but we have so many people that are surrounding us that truly some care, some don't care, but I can vouch for knowing Jacqueline for a few years now. I definitely know her heart. I know where she's coming from, a place of positivity and encouragement as well. And so it's not so much about the individual per se, but also the opportunity and what it can actually do for you as an individual as well. So if you're a person like myself that desires to do more for others, take care of self first.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you for the beautiful compliment. I am so happy that we are connected and that we have met. And it's funny that you say that was your response because Andrea didn't even really get a chance to see these questions beforehand. And you're not the only person who's responded that way. So it's cool to see that kind of a pattern. But thanks again so much for being here. I'm so excited, you guys. Things are happening, goals are being met, things are moving. We'd love to have you. If you're interested, please feel free to reach out to myself. If you're someone who knows Andrea, please reach out to Andrea. She would love to help you with any goals that you have. I will be back on Friday with an entrepreneur who will share their business story, and it's not necessarily a network marketing story. It might be someone in any other field or realm. And I'm on every Tuesday with a transformation story, whether it's energy, weight loss, anything of that manner. And you can check out my past lives on my YouTube channel. I upload them there for you to take a look at as well. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful week and a wonderful Tuesday night. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Andrea.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.